Joining us now is Congressman Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. His district is west of Chicago, and he sits on the House committee that will question Louis DeJoy tomorrow. Congressman, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Joshua.
During the hearing with the Senate, Louis DeJoy told Senator Maggie Hassan that he can commit that 95% of the ballots that are dropped in mailboxes will be treated like first-class mail. He said that is an unqualified yes. Does that give you any reassurance?
No. What happens to the other 5%? And also, will he commit to making sure that not only the ballots, but the application materials and everything that's necessary for vote by mail to work is actually treated like first-class mail? Those are among the very pressing questions he'll be asked tomorrow, I'm sure, at our oversight hearing.
Yesterday, the House passed a $25 billion bill that was designed to bolster the Postal Service. The White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, has said that it has no chance of advancing, certainly not to the president's desk. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has expressed no interest in bringing this bill to the Senate floor. So what is the path forward from here?
All I can tell you is that those people who refuse to provide the Postal Service with the funds they need do so at their peril. We've received 1,612 and counting pieces of mail. We've received phone calls and texts and email messages complaining of disastrous delays to medications that have been sent by mail, parcels and payments that small businesses are relying on. We had one veteran call us who just had an organ transplant and is waiting on his post-operative medicines. This is a life and death issue, and I'm glad that almost 36 Republicans crossed the aisle to vote with us yesterday. We need Senate Republicans and the White House to come to their senses and fund the USPS, especially now in the run-up to the election.
Just a few hours ago, the U.S. Postal Service released a statement in reaction to the House bill the Democrats passed yesterday. It says, in part, that the Postal Service is concerned that the bill will, quote, constrain the ability of the Postal Service to make operational changes that will improve efficiency, reduce costs, and ultimately improve service to the American people, unquote. So the Post Office seems to be saying thanks, but this is not quite the help that we need. What do you make of that?
This is also going to be the subject of tomorrow's hearing. That is the independence of the USPS from the White House. Since the early 1970s, Joshua, Congress and the president over the last 50 years have tried to cultivate the independence of the Postal Service so that it doesn't become politicized. What we fear is that the White House is now exerting undue influence over the Postal Service. And the other day, the president, he gets points for candor, told us that he wants to try to monkey with mail-in voting by delivering mail more slowly than it's being delivered now and not funding the USPS. Now we see the USPS actually delivering the mail more slowly. And now we see this letter that you present on air showing that the USPS management is refusing to take the very money that they told us they need in the testimony that they're about to give tomorrow morning. So this is all just part of the issue of independence of the Postal Service and whether it's going to run efficiently and professionally, which is the way it should be run.
Are we clear on exactly what the Postal Service needs? Louis DeJoy's predecessor asked Congress for $75 billion of help in three $25 billion chunks for different needs. The House bill offers $25 billion. The Democratic bill offers $25 billion. There was a Republican bill that offered $10 billion and some additional changes. I'm not sure that we're even having an apples-to-apples conversation about the post office. I mean, if you asked me how much I need for rent, food, and utilities, I could tell you to the penny, like if I had to go to the bank. I don't know how much the post office actually needs. Like, can you just put it in a nutshell for us? What does the post office actually need?
They need a couple things, Joshua. One is they need to cover their costs. This year, as you know, during the pandemic, which nobody anticipated, the post office is experiencing at least a 25% drop in business mail volume, which means that they're going to have cumulatively, just between last year and this year, According to the testimony, by the way, that Louis DeJoy is going to give us tomorrow, in his prepared remarks, he agrees that it's going to experience at least 20 billion with a B in losses. Okay. The second major thing they need is long-term reform. As you had indicated before, as of 2006, they were actually profitable. But that year, George W. Bush and Congress put in place a law which requires the USPS to fund in advance 75 years of retiree health care benefits. I'm a former small business person. I've never seen any kind of requirement like this in the private or public sector. But the net of that law is that it basically puts the USPS constantly in deficits because it's having to pre-fund retiree health care and other benefits, which no other organization, or for that matter, any of its competitors, have to fund.
Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois, also a member of the House committee that will be questioning the Postmaster General tomorrow. Congressman, I appreciate you making time tonight. Thanks very much.
Thank you, John.